Welcome back, one and all, to Let's Play Landgrisser 2, until the war is through, and on to Scenario 7, The Awakening of the Dead. With the arrival of Cherie's sword teacher Aaron, night fell around the party. In this peaceful, dimly lit environment, an intense battle seemed unlikely to occur anytime soon. However, in the graveyard outside the village, dark figures were performing some sort of ceremony. There, the souls of the dead were being summoned from their slumber for a wicked purpose. Conditions for victory? Thwart that purpose. Defeat Genom the Necromancer. Same difference. We're defeated if the civilians are wiped out or Elwyn is defeated. We have 3 NPCs to contend with here. We've got to keep them safe, guys. So in order to do that, we have to upgrade some items, right? Of course. Pick up another great sword because that knife's not gonna cut it. Figuratively or literally. And chainmail is an upgrade in armor. Cross is going to raise the defense of some troops as well as magic defense for the whole group. Sadly, only Liana is of a class that can equip it currently, but still better than nothing. The thing is, she's going to be so powerful in this scenario, she's not going to need it, so we're still going to leave it on her, the one that we acquired for a job well done previously. We don't have to buy another one, thankfully. So we get to save some money. And yeah, we're going to leave her with that. Keep the Warhammer on her as well to keep her attack high. Now about that Anduin, I did a little bit of homework, and it turns out that it does have a purpose beyond summoning. It raises the magic defense of the chosen character by 10%. Not too bad. So, gonna go ahead and keep that on somebody until we have more items to choose from. It's not gonna hurt. Just goes to show you, and it's one of the good things about this game. Most items have extra purpose behind them, or they have multiple functions, so it's rare that you'll have an item that just raises attack or defense but doesn't have some additional benefits on the side, so very, very useful. And I like that you can equip 3 separate items on a single character. I know in Der Langrisser that number was reduced to 2. I can think of a couple of reasons why they might have done that. It's not a huge negative, but I like the extra options, because here you can equip a weapon, armor, and an additional accessory, and that one is pretty much a weapon and accessory, and armor falls under accessory. So, but enough of all that. I actually have gotten further in Der Langrisser. I decided to go down the Imperial path just to see what that side of life is like, and then eventually I'm going to go down the independent path. It's very interesting. It's weird fighting your friends though. Like everybody who's on our side right now, you know, we have to battle them. It's weird. You really get to be the bad guy. It's interesting. So, again, if everything goes according to plan, I will cover that game at some point too, because even though I kind of have a soft spot for this version, if I had to choose one, it's still a great game and it's definitely worth showing in full detail. Or as much as I can. There's so much to cover, it's hard to get it all in. But story. Stay focused on this. He's found her. I felt a surge of malevolence. Yeah. There are magicians in the cemetery. I don't know why, but that line is it's hilarious. Like, what would a magician be doing in the cemetery? Certainly nothing good. Nothing wholesome. Nothing that we can endorse, so. But back to business. This battle is another one that's very tricky. Most battles where you have to preserve the lives of civilians, it's going to be a bit of a handful. This one in particular, you have some here to the southeast and some to the west. For the southeast group, I recommend sending somebody with horses and somebody with flying units. In this battle, I'm telling you, horses, griffins, and torches, they are your saviors. Torches in the form of guardsmen who are going to help us with the west, but we'll get to that in a second. Right here, we've got the griffins and the horsemen protecting those civilians as best as we can, which is one of the primary reasons I chose to make Scott a Hawk Knight, knowing that this battle was imminent. Now, even though it looks like they're still in front of us, the civilians will move back on their turn, so they should be just out of harm's way for just a moment. And this is also why I gave Hayne the speed boots, because without the speed boots, it's really an RNG toss-up as to whether the civilians can survive this first volley of attacks. Typically, they can't. And the thing about this battle, I don't know if it was a glitch, a programming error, or if it was purposeful. Because in a lot of battles, it's okay if you lose some of the NPCs, what can I call them? Since they're not really fighters. Well, we'll just call them the blue-haired girls for now. The blue-haired girls, you can lose one or two of them, and it won't be a mark against you in most scenarios. Not in this scenario. They all have to survive. So not just the clerics in the center. If you lose even one of them, then you've lost the conditions for getting a secret item. You won't lose the fight. Now, you only lose the fight if the clerics in the center fall. But if you want the secret item that you're rewarded for keeping them alive, you need to keep everybody breathing. Very, very tricky. So that's why I gave Hain the speed boost, so that him and his guardsmen can get up front. First thing, Liana is going to trail behind them. You can give it to her as well too, just somebody with guardsmen. That's the thing. Who is your personal preference? I usually choose Hain though, because and they're going to hide in the church, thankfully. So you just need to keep them alive for these first couple of turns. After that, they're pretty much out of the enemy's range. But those first couple of turns, it's amazingly difficult to keep them all alive. That's the thing. So, high movement and the right troops. Spirits of old. This isn't good. Take a crack at that if you like. Oh, and he has summoned up the undead. Naturally. Because why else would a magician kick around dirt in the graveyard? Okay. Another reason why I chose Hain to get the speed boost, the monks that Liana can recruit now have naturally higher movement than guardsmen, so I figure she'll catch up quicker anyway. And the monks are very, very powerful against evil and undead enemies. They're so-so against slime. They don't do a massive amount of damage like the torch-wielding guardsmen, but they can still hold their own and they don't take much damage either. But against zombies and skeletons, and even the necromancers themselves, they just deal out horrendous hurtings. So they're going to be helpful. Now this side here we have a Serpent Knight. First time seeing them in this game, I believe, with Lizardmen. And she's giving us a clue about the slimes for those who have not played Warsong or the original Langrisser. The same applies here. Very, very tough to kill unless you're using guardsmen, and monks to a lesser extent. Priests and holy class generals also have an advantage against them that's inherent. It doesn't show on the screen, but they get a boost to their attack, especially when fighting them. Things you may want to note for your own playthrough, because you're playing along too, right? Come on now. How can you say no? What? We have a truant student here. Just put a little fear in Hain there. Not a hard thing to do. So he won't be saying anything for a while, I think. Now, attack up is going to greatly diminish the chances the enemy is going to want to get too offensive, so we're going to take advantage of that. Just to keep them off of those citizens' backs for a little bit longer. Gonna bring Scott in somewhere. Just want to make sure I make the most of everybody's position here. Those griffins do hurt, so I don't want to keep attacking them. I think I want to mostly maintain a defensive posture. I think that would be the intelligent thing. Unless there are three, in which case we get to attack them before they get to strike. Things to keep in mind. And we've already riled the hornet's nest, so I think I'm just going to keep going. Because as long as I can pull these horsemen back to heal next time, at least a couple of them, because really they're just in here to strike hard and strike fast. I will need at least a few of them alive for what's to come later, but they're basically just softening things up for Scott and his crew. It's okay if we take heavy blows, because I'm thinking we can take care of this group before the Lizardmen have a chance to come in and reinforce their friends, giving us plenty of time to recover. And then we have somebody up to the north to intercept them as well, slow their advances. That would be Cherie and Aaron. I could send one of them to the west to help out Pain and Liana, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. Everything on that side of the map is weak to their troops, so they should be just fine. I may want to send one of them over anyway just to be safe. We'll see how it goes. Plenty of time to decide. Right now, the main thing to worry about is these villagers. Right now, nothing else matters. And again, Griffins have an actually high attack, so wasn't too concerned there. Again, the music playing here is called Fight It Out. Just wanted to mention it again because it is such a great track. And to the west side, Pain has Thunder. That should do decent damage to slimes. Different types of enemies have different types of magic resistance, so this is something that we'll discover as we continue on. I believe slimes have a natural weakness to fire, but he doesn't have Fireball since I didn't make him a sorcerer, so his basic attack isn't too bad against him either. He took very little damage, so no big hurry to use his MP because his guardsmen will do just fine on their own. A little disappointed they didn't finish them off. 90% of the time they do, without a commander's bonus, so you would think with it, of course they would. Like right here, they're out of his range, but comparable results. Literally the same results, actually. They were in the grass, though, so they had a slight... Well, actually, their terrain advantage was equal to the slime, so it didn't make much of a difference there. We're going to be patient. Again, we don't need to get too aggressive just yet. The main thing is to keep the villagers surrounded. That above everything else. Go for it, guards. What can you do? Everything and more. Thank you very much. She's close to another level 2. Probably after her next successful dispatch of the goobs. Down with gels. Nothing good ever came from it. Except for a force heal, thank you. That costs 3 MP as opposed to 2. Instead of a standard heal, where it'll heal anybody within that given range, it specifically targets a set division. So even if you are targeting one troop out of a unit, it will automatically heal everybody in that unit by 3, no matter where they are on the map. So, depending on how you like to play your cards, it can be a very useful spell. It can really bail you out in a few situations. Most of the time, regular heal will suffice, but force heal is very, very useful. And just wait till we get to Force Heal 2, which won't be for quite a while, but as you might imagine, it's Heal 2, but just again, focusing on a specific division of troops and their commander. If you got everybody from that unit on another side of the map, except for one close by to the one casting the spell, aim for that one that's close by, and yes, it still heals everybody. So you can imagine some scenarios where that would be quite helpful. And we don't want to take a chance of ending the boss just yet. Miss out on some XP. Cherie's going to be very, very helpful, so we're going to send her over. She has the troops after all. Lizardmen have a high attack, but they're going to be on land when they face us, so that's going to reduce their damage by quite a bit. Their defense especially. And they can't hurt us if they can't hit us, because they're dead, you know, so. Okay, the group to the west is officially safe. This group, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, Genom, he always takes a few turns before he starts to move, so you don't have to worry about him too much. You do want to worry about them casting Thunder on you. Thankfully, Liana has the claws boosting their magic defense. They'll be okay. Ooh, and he just went right in for it. I did not expect that. So, don't want to stay on the fence too long with them, it seems. Ooh, don't go for the monks. They're the only ones I brought. I need to keep them alive. If you wanted to make this fight much easier, you should give Liana at least 3 monks. I only gave her 1 to save some money. They cost more than guardsmen by quite a bit. And I don't think it'll be necessary because in past experience I've seen they're so effective against everybody on the side that you can keep one of them in your pocket as sort of an assassin unit. You just want to go in and do some quick damage against one of the necromancers. They usually will survive the counterattack. Another reason I didn't bring a bunch of monks is because I realized, hey, guess what we've got? Turn Undead. Turn Undead is going to be huge in this battle. So why bring all these monks when we don't need it? We can just cast 1 spell and wipe out most of the enemies in 1 turn. All we have to do is keep her MP high because it costs 5. So that's my plan, that's my reasoning. Otherwise I definitely would have brought more monks. So I have to keep that 1 set that I brought alive. No matter what. We can still get it done without them, but they're going to make it much more easier. And speaking of making things easy, Elwyn doing everything but holding back results in a level for him, getting close to a new class change. And with him, it's always on time. So this was the plan. We took a lot of scratches, but this is our chance to recuperate. We're going to do that. Everybody who can is going to recover some health. It looks like everybody who's still around. And this is good. While they're tending to their wounds, Aaron can bring it on. And excellent. As you can see, Lizardmen there, even with the bonuses, have single-digit defense. That's pathetic. And because of that, we stand a good chance of wiping them out in a single attack. 1-shots all around. Whatever you do, don't turn this into a drinking game. You might put yourself in a coma. And we're just going to hold back in the trees, get that defense bonus, let them come to us. Alright. Now might be the time for Thunder. Because look at that damage. Liana. Is it time for Turn Undead? No, not just yet. You see it has a centralized range around her, so we're going to take our time, be patient, and heal instead. She still has enough MP to use it. Gonna let the undead get a little bit closer. In the meantime, let's finish off this group or get closer to it. Level hand? Yes. No wonder his magic did so much. He is over level 5 now. Well, really it starts at level 5 that your magic becomes more potent. And we've already established this, right? So, Liana with the red eyes there. Too many flights, not enough sleep. Okay, you guys ought to be able to finish this, right? Here you go. Make the most of that hidden attack boost you're getting. Because again, slimes can't stand fire. That's the logic behind their gross weakness here. And this monk. Why not? I don't think he'll take too much damage. How about no damage? Even better. I really just want to keep them up top. I want to sort of entice the undead to attack them, because they won't. But in case they do, if they forget who they are or what they're up against, we'll be able to take them out that way. Because really, they stand no chance against the monk, believe me. It's one of the few things you can count on here. Ooh! Just went in for it. That's a level. That's probably a level and a half. Well, level and a quarter. One of the nice things about some of the classes like Healer and Shaman, they have a relatively short experience meter, so it doesn't take long to level them up. But again, we are talking about level 2 classes, so that's to be expected, but still much better than something like, say, a Knight, which requires a bit more juice to let loose. Okay, they're officially out of harm's way completely, and this group as well. There's nothing that's going to catch up to them in time at this rate. We've warded them off well enough, just well enough. and he's moving in finally. This is fine. That's not. But again, magic defense. Very minor damage. Ooh, don't attack them though. Yeah, it might do a little bit more to Hane. But again, he should have a naturally good resistance being a shaman. And guardsmen, they're holy class technically, so they probably have decent magic resistance as well. So I think he's fine too. He didn't do a ton of damage anyway, so. Oh, here comes the lizard man. Probably gonna take out that soldier. And after this, that'll be it for their turn, and I will see you for the conclusion to this battle in the next installment. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and hopefully, I'll see you then.